Lord, yeah, ha. Oh, 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 oh. Everybody say, ah. Say, oh, oh. Say, how can I express?
My gratitude
For all the many things
you've done for me.
Words are not enough, yeah.
Enough to say thank you.
Say, Lord, you are my everything.
You're
One
my
more time.
everything.
How can I express my gratitude?
How can I express my gratitude
For all the many things,
all the many things you've
Father,
done
you
for
done
me?
for me, yeah.
Words are not enough to say thank you.
Say, Lord, you are,
Lord,
you
you're
are.
my everything.
Say, I call you Jireh.
you Jireh. You're my provider.
I call you Nisi. You are my battle. I call you Rapha. Hey.
You are my healer.
Say, Lord, you are.
Lord, you're my everything.
I call you Jireh.
You Jireh. You're my provider.
I call you Nisi.
Nisi.
You are my banner.
My
I call you Rapha.
you Rapha. You are my healer.
Say, Lord, you are.
Lord,
You are.
you're my everything.
Uya matinyina. Uya matinyina. Uya matinyina. Oh, uya matinyina. Yeah, so uya.
Moya matinyina. Moya matinyina.
Yeah.
Moya matinyina.
Oh, uya matinyina. Say, I call you Jireh, say,
I call you Jireh.
yeah.
You're my provider.
I call you Nisi.
Nisi.
You are my banner.
My banner.
I call you Rapha.
You Rapha.
Hey.
You are my healer.
Say, Lord, you are my everything. Yeah. Are you ready, everybody? All right, listen. We are me ground cover. 1, 2, 3.
Oya mi kwako kila mabani, umenida so.
Yeah.
Oya maua umenitaka. My life is in your hands, I can't live without you.
I can breathe without you, say.
I can breathe without you.
I can move without you, Lord.
I can move.
I don't look like what I have been through. You've turned my pit into a well. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Adum, Wadum. I've been through a lot, but grace sustained me. My test is now a testimony. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Adum, Wadum. It was you, my lawyer in that courtroom. It was you, my soldier on that battlefield. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Adum, Wadum. Hey, Adumo, Nyame, Adumo, Adum, Adum intina metiasi, Eya Wadum tina mewoho. Lord, the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Adum, Wadum. Hey, Adumo, Nyame, Adum. is you and just your grace. You have changed my story. Protocol breaker, you made a way. You turned my mourning into dancing. It is you and just your grace. Could not have made it without you. Hey. Could not have sailed through.
Adom keke ena ya dom yen na fi yenya bre se yenu ebishia ewo jumedi so the community and the law. Ye fam reku frimpon na ebre aso se yenu ebabidi ehye na me kamfo e the amount se pick up the page and share with others. Pick up the page ewo Facebook BWF Solicitors. And I think so pick up page na BWF Solicitors or Facebook and for YouTube platform and also BWF Solicitors and any DJmain na the all can check in say 1 yen 82 anamon ewo emremu yebasia.
Ye fema ye wo London. Ya ji abasobodie bebre. Ne ya redare ewo mransem. Eye legal services, BTC family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wo BWFDA, yen solicitors edi enijie ene twitwaje wo na ye bo nso nya den kra. Yen partner penimpa, Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron, 29 years. BWF solicitors kura won ho. Inti se ba na ebusuansem bi ti se child care eya abofrahwe mu awarja ye ho twuma mentwe ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a ye ma legal assistance ya edimu na ye adwuma nso ye child care any family team no nim nia wo famu eweni ye wo brei mu enu ntin ye to ye mboase ma wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu ye bie an office free juada ekosi fiada anopa no nkrumpe mu ekosi enumre no nsia eye 9:30 am kosi 6 pm ena memene danso eye appointment nko free anopa no ndu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 am kosi 4 pm ye wo 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road London N15 4NP.
Yo na me koso adawase na makamfo ade amount say ye ne dodo na enche page no na yemra jumedi so the community and the law ebi o ye frame oreku frimpon na me ne wa hie na ye de emramu nkomo a ehia pa no ede ebrewo say efa wasetene mu ewo UK ha say efa wasetene mu say opese utu anamo na obejoin yen ewo UK ha nyina ye bo ho enkomo ebi onso so de me kamfo ede amount and say opese obi eka wasem ma opese lawyer ni edi wachi na ye call ye court ananse ye koka wasem bi amawa eno ye BWF Solicitors omo number na ye 0208 493-7340 0208-493-7340. Yeah, live ewo Facebook se medical bawa mani ye live and so ewo Abawa radio so ewo UK ha. And I pay live ewo PAAM TV so and so ewo UK ha. Na ene question mi baby sawo na fe we ya no ede aman anansa my parents ede amount eye can we ye betimi eden ene ye betimi eden ena yentimi enye ekwan be so ne betimi aye de betimi ena eden ye betimi aye abe avoid de yentimi no ena me wo ebenimfo me no free BWF Solicitors asoye ena fe so ye wo ye quiz ne question no ye de ebebre na fe ye de wo edi djuma no eno nti tetan na fe ye nko na fe memfa ebenimfo a ewo se wo de yen etu yen anamo ena ewo djumadi so no ye de ebrewo ebio efrem oreku frepon na ene me wo aye yenuapani me senior a partner of BWF Solicitors ewo menchen ewo ha se munima aye lawyer Richard ewo ha lawyer Richard aye partner ewo BWF Solicitors and afin so mudwedi ahodo ene monsema ahodo amode komane nyina no odi mu akotene pa na ne onom ko ama oba no ode the Lord Mackenzie mabɔ din akyerɛ wo dada sɛ ba na sɛ wo appeals ne wo cases ahodoɔ no yɛ mboa no na yɛde akɔ court a ɔno ɛna di mu dwuma paa ɛno nti mobɛte Lord Mackenzie nka ebio nso menuaba na mayɛti ɛwɔ around a ɔno nso ɛde yɛn nkɔmmɔ ahodoɔ no ɛbɛbrɛ na afei mo questions na ɛnra mete sɛ wɔka no bebree sɛ ɔwerɛku bɛyi ano ɛnyɛ me na meyi ano wɔde bɛba na wɔba a yɛbɛboa ama ɛyi ano pɛpɛɛpɛ ɛno nti ma menni kan na menkɔ me nua ɛyɛ lawyer Richard hɔ na mesa sɛ lawyer Richard sɛ yɛ te wo nka akyɛ yi na ɛnɛ waba yi apɔmu ɛte sɛn.
Well, I mean, senior, very, very good evening. And my colleagues also very, very good evening. And welcome to our second hall here.
Thank you.
Mr. Nyame aye adom yenina yehu eye yehu ye pa Mr. Bibiani Yakase yenina nim say this horrible pandemic sebia edaso enya enkwawye ye nyame aboye ho ban your colleagues, your clients, yente asemboni bia.
That's right.
The Nyankopon say was so Musa na and I started the so any was signed there about BPS. We are doing very well, and then I hope say also so so that we see look very, very handsome and young. I don't have to ask. Thank you for asking. We are doing very well. Now, Yemfa Akonya Insuma, a Tifonia for a very, very good afternoon, evening, morning, and depending on your location. And Chai Cassia free, and BWF Solicitor Juma Kum, a bread more, in lieu of our principal Uncle Ben. And yet, Shamuna, and we are coming to your homes, wherever you are in a car watching us to discuss a very, very important issue. Sometimes, when I say we are going to discuss a very, very important issue, it sounds like cliche because everything is important. But this particular one is very, very crucial because I suppose we all now are aware of the fact that 30th of June was the deadline to apply to the EU settlement scheme, which has now elapsed. The fortunate thing is the fact that Home Office, they have now watered down the restrictiveness of the fact that if you miss the deadline, you will become illegal. We have
because now everything was like, okay, we are seeing in EU and I say EU national. Then what do I do? Meet me application be me application and farmer me decision in your mind and all those things. But say good news be about yes. Then I think it's good to say.
We will start with a good news. Say the day before the deadline date, that it was the 29th. The policy be out said. We understand that some people may miss the deadline. Okay. But we are not going to extend the deadline. So they were quite resolute about that. So, okay. Deadline on my certain day, and yeah, they say or more be extended. However, so to me, very good reasons in tia when to me and your application before the 30th of June. Just tell them. So what I did was, after the 30th of June, my applications are, what is the application form looking like? It's almost as another section with the EU settlement scheme application. It just says, so your application, the first question you have to answer is, why are you applying after the deadline dates? So they've provided about 25 tick boxes, which is great. So it's good news because they are understanding the fact that people would have reasons why they were unable to apply. So, or more categorizing. So maybe because of domestic abuse, because of childcare, because of internet issue, that is technicalities, because you didn't know language. So it's very good. They are prompting you to tell them why you could not apply. What that tells us is the fact that they are really being lenient on that issue. So, and also I take one box I apply to you. For example, the mayor na was enquire application no because we are EU national.
Okay.
But nikno no entokwa kakra ba o hontem nti ofa documents in na sie. Also on marriage certificate no krampo emma.
Okay.
So as a lawyer, so ba na me busa o say eden na odi gina so na waye application na so ka say wa ware I want to see your marriage certificate. So unfortunately, because she could not provide the certificate, we couldn't do the application for her. Now, finally, it was after 30th of June. So I take domestic abuse. Why? Because Teresa, former Prime Minister, extended the definition of domestic abuse. Whereas what they become say emotional, financial, and never psychological. And you take domestic abuse. Now, a drop a box amount said, so when you take what is applicable to you, explain into a bit more details.
As to evidence.
So, well, I mean, not Papano, or me relevant sponsor, no, a family name. So I couldn't have applied. It was beyond my control. So we explained, and then Omaji Atum. I then who say Omaji Atum. So we EU settlement scheme application. Na we send it. We have fingerprints. Now, the certificate of application brewer. What that means or tells us is the fact that the application has been validly submitted.
Okay.
So yenim say omagia to BBI okay, and therefore they will go ahead and decide the case. So that is the good news about sad deadline. No, yenim say hey good. Say your principal, a fascino so say Richard, your community no coco. Although because we didn't know they were gonna bring this down a little bit because it was very good set to share issue about because now on a situation whereby after 30th but we are not really getting that. So that is very good. So that what that tells us is that the message actually went through.
Okay.
So that is very good. But one.
As a member.
I'm a gentleman befriend Mr. Boy. I know you are one person that offered me rich in patrol. Now, said no. So we haven't. So I've asked him to come, and then in patrol says so now no a constant with my. Just tell us why you couldn't do it. We will help and expand the reason why you couldn't do the application before the deadline dates. Na bibia be okay. Nti enen komo na nkasa de meja ma na wa
me be mo because you betimi aye de a ene na bia me come chikakra na mahwe and then me here say me why na qualify so betimi aye because there were two deadlines. One the 30th of June, 31st of December and the 30th of June. Sa ni me enu ni nyina abesen ko. Ebesen ekoye no almost extended deadline. Name there are some considerations.
Yes.
Okay, so in this case, and I'm happy, say, Lord Mackenzie, so Abba. In this case, when me apply, na say, me and na say, was me appeal. What do I need to do it? And this is na me shall say na me can say what we can do.
Yeah.
And they were waiting here, and any my yentimi and ye. And see, I was force say a fee and now about joining yeah, cultural say and then say we EEA family member. Now, why are they costing me a caveat to be a bishop relevant? And that is one of the questions I would be seeking answers to. The TBR, at the end of this program, you will have a valid reason for staying with us and also going to the BWF solicitor say or more ebebo because we can do it, especially as a spouse of a relevant EEA national. With my application to enter. Leave to remain, or ye EUSS na omuhwehwa ye say yentimi nya no ye betimi aye. Ehe for any new digibay a BWF solicitors member.
Ye fema ye wo London. Ya ji abasobodie bebre. Ne ya redare ewo mranse mu. Eye legal services, be to say family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. What BWFDA, yen solicitors edi enijie ene twitwaje wo na yebo nso nya den kra. Yen partner penin pa Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron 29 years. BWF solicitors kura won ho. Inti se ba na ebusuansem bi te se child care eya abofrahwe mu awaregya ye ho twema mentwe Any ɔhyɛ anaa injunction yɛde to domestic violence so a yɛma wo legal assistance a ɛdi mu na yie adwuma nso. Yɛn child care any family team no nim nea wofa mu ɛwɔ nea ɛyɛ wɔ bere yi mu. Ɛno nti ne yɛto yɛn bo ase ma wafoto a ɛsɛ fata ɛwɔ kokoa mu. Yɛbie yɛn office free dwada ekosi fiada anɔpa nɔnkron pɛɛ mu ekosi enumere nonsia ɛyɛ 9:30 am kosi 6 pm ɛna memeneda nso ɛyɛ appointment nko a free anɔpa nondu ekosi ewia nɔnan ɛyɛ 10 am kosi 4 pm. Yɛwɔ 4th floor ɛwɔ Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road, London N15 4NP.
Yeah, me da say uguso ene yen ewa mabo wa manie ma kire obabi a ubetimi afa na fe one BWF solicitors edi enkomo 2142218 Tottenham High Road no so pacho frɛ won ewo 0208 493 7340 0208 493 7340. Okay, now maminko discussion also na fi mene aye Richard any young common Cecilia because I need me dosu kopa I'm diving deep into the discussion starting from that definition relevant EEA national omono deadline no echiomo 31st December echiomo 30th June announce at the same Lawyer Rich me bacho yeka relevant EEA national. Why yeka?
Senior relevant EEA national, simply put, is you say EEA national. Obia or free one of say 27, near 28. You're free. One of those 27 countries, so Germany, France, Italy. So those countries, that is EEA national. And I say Switzerland, Norway. For no, so the now the word relevant, is now relevant because of set grace period, about area. Now before 30th of June, Nankebeka said EEA national sponsor. That is Obia or EU national obetimi afawa free Ghana and abroad and also obetimi sponsor amoatina kroma. So German, France near or kromha. See a share regulation 2016 definition na nanka E national or ye qualified person under regulation 6 and just or ye juma or school or ye job seeker and asa or ye self-sufficient, but under appendix EU to the immigration rules, na ye chumu grace period, to say relevant na bishim to say we EU national now work work continuous residence before 31st of December. So that is why the two dates you mentioned are relevant.
Irrelevant, okay.
Now today the word relevant is going to be very relevant. Now,
strategy.
So to the first, so now we're EU national.
Okay.
And now we're UK. What's your continuous? See, because we're UK. Last week, people said, "Send me Bahama visits 1 week at a hotel. May obia na may relevant." EU in particular only relevant EU national because now we need continuous residence in the UK before 31st of December. Okay. So relevant EU national will be before 31st. That is when the EU free movement actually ended. Oh, now you're relevant EU national.
Okay.
From 31st of December.
And also provide the evidence be said time not now around.
So in order to evidence your residence in the UK before 31st, we are looking at you don't necessarily have to have work in the UK to be a relevant person. All that you need to show is BB to say, Bill, I would was swatches now to Kroma. Normally, what Bakroma, Obeji NI is a very, very objective evidence just now to Kroma. So now on JNI, now we already said GP, you have a proof of address. And now be a bank, and now the driver's licenses, and now work BT bill. So anything showing that before 31st you were present in the UK with something, because all shares is application now. So we'll complete here. Another question said, were you in the UK before 31st of December? Obeka said yes. Naka said, were you in the UK on 31st? of December. So it's either you were here before 31st or on that date, then you are a relevant EEA national.
Okay.
That is for the EU people. So, and Kuma Yebedi Nene said, Ubetimi aye application abejoine wo EEA relevant national. A good say, what they are starting who is a relevant EU national. It is a say now I established say EEA national or relevant person will be a now we will before 31st of December. And there is a second element in that. Now I an EU settlement scheme application. So UK before 31st of December. Na yema deadline na ya ka ho 30th of June na application okay and you know na massa qualified residence right no and no application ti we EU national 31st ni twem no na yema grace period up to June na why your EU SS application whether you have been granted or not no it's not a problem because in him said last 2 weeks almost had accommodate the by say actually said why your application no. Now, when your certificate of application, you are deemed to have done the application, although you have not yet received the decision, which is good, because then it would have generated the 3434 number for you to evidence that you've done the application. That is great. So, EEA relevant nationals, Obia now before 31st December 2020. Now, why any EU SS application, whether your man on decision and I am man decision. Or no na you be obetimi a sponsor am what na krum ha anaso wa follow free amana ne abahase
mo eye obi a oye ne busuani keke anase ne hukani which ones do qualify the ntia me bi sasa no EUSS se me buy mo hwe mu me hu se de bia na me ne akoba ya say e kosre because no extended family member and now say immediate family member on Kwa and a sa caveat qualify also.
So who is a family member now under the definition of Annex 1 of the EU settlement scheme, Appendix EU, no? A categorized group B, you consider so only EU nationals family members at the moment. Before 31st of December, nanka you can family members and you have two groups, extended family members and close family members.
Okay.
Unfortunately, say you were only one group. Close family members. Now, Appendix EU, a definition, no, close family members, and so your sub groups, your spouse, and your children, your parents, grandparents, grandchildren. Now, and then come on to be focusing on spouses. Because spouse, also have branches extended to other people because all your spouse are and relevant national can also benefit from EU.
So about no I qualify. Okay.
So we will focus on that more. But in general, family members at the moment under EU appendix, close family members that encompasses a spouse, children, grandchildren, parents, grandparents. So ascending or descending order, it is a way EU national, we a man, Bema, Nasa, who worry a spouse, who are a year, or ban so close family members in now will come under the same as or no EU national, so the close family members. Now, I might double kind of like imitate.
Obi baby say then it says advantage set mean kind of sa ni nyina e wo hodada and it no more high adwena nkomu janku na you free you move fine obi amfa emra and say deadline nti I was here a year within a period.
It's very good you are bringing this up, Senior, because you see sometimes you'll be thinking, okay, so then if still now you meet my application now, so what's all this about? Now it's cutting the surpluses, because of course they say extended family members.
Okay.
So be because extended family members no common harm. I'm sorry, be a boss and me a and then Chen phone, so nieces, cousins, and nephews, uncles, all those people. Now, Nanka, before 31st of December, no more to me, you are free.
Okay.
So that is very good. Now, one of the major reasons why free European Union,
that's
so
right.
almost taking control of their borders. Now, we know that before, family, there's no number or a back. But I say, it's cutting because first of all, yes, it's a UK. Now 31st, no one your application, you are out. Ultimately, application. Although say you mention good reasons why you
can do that.
Technically, if you did not submit an application under the EU settlement scheme, you are out. If you are in the UK, that is controlling immigration.
Okay.
So they are achieving, whatever they aim to achieve. Now, so what we now you be says here with the definition of family member. You can't spouse here. One of the areas that it may emma enipa bebre ebakroma because so dem kan worry oba e Ghana. So oba no so close family members can come here. Now with the new law no definition of a family member and say a family member in terms of spouse obia were contracting marriage before 31st of December.
Okay. We
are in July. It is says so who obi EU national. Now mo person worry. Ghana, Bibia Kama, a certificate abroad. But worry June. You cannot apply under EU SS because although you are a spouse, a partner, under immigration rules, you are a partner, but you cannot apply under European that EU certificate because unless that marriage was formed or was contracted before 31st of December. They are achieving something. They've managed to really cut a lot of people from coming within the definition of a family member and also apply.
There is obia or ne aware won hihye said na before December 31st 2020 na mo kan worry ye ho arrangement to ho ye hwehwe a date way na me anti quote and code worry to ho a ho mfaso no ebeba ase wan worry amfa to ho na worry ne nim na abusiafo anya ntum eninka ceremony ade before 31st or after 31st December na dia na ubetimi amba even though nipa no relevant year oba na your application na ebeye as a spouse of obi a woti krom ha rather than ye the EU mra na ye.
Okay, so you share 2 dates be say first of all abia me perspective for taking note in say deadline date is only applicable to people already in the UK.
Okay.
I'm say also taking note of that.
Say, okay.
So deadline date na yaka ho asem ni nyina no one over UK ha and they say na also your application no before 30th. It is what worry we ba we maame o what say we application no before 30th. But so we maame we ba we now we Ghana you can still apply and join your family member if the American say is applies. Now aware so marriage certificate na into the evidence of relationship no on say ye beka customary marriage ho asem wo krom ha na wo hia be ma na oba na maware wo Ghana because went man ko because yenye nim say krom ha na ware no wo be ma notice ne ne ma na ahwa na ho akwo nti normally ne ya na use customary marriage so you use Ghana as an example. Now there are 3 types of marriages that are recognized in Ghana. So number 1, customary or traditional marriage.
Right, okay.
Number 2, the ordinance one. Number 3, Islamic or Mohammedan marriage. Now, so our 3 are legally recognized in Ghana. Common, a very normally a customary marriage, a traditional one. Sa our senior say any spontaneous because so we share madam na we say we no atena for some time until be about 2 years ago oma efie omo de nsa ko home the family and omo je no mo ye omo performing all the necessary rites and omo je aware na ma o and na neti at that time nothing really prompted you to do anything but one na man na watin komo say ye program we are no say actually, yes, so worry EU ni krompa. Utimi jina no sutina kroma me ma okrata. And ako hu lawyer. To be hu yen. And ye catch to say, what's worry mami? And then just worry no. Me ma omu kofi. And look last 2 years, 2018 and now 2019 I'm years again.
Okay.
Makara said, I need the evidence so that I can put in an application for you. Now what free fee say, uncle, our na moji mami no. Me pacho, yes it mean register. Na me find evidence of my relationship with my warrior. So they will go to AMA or Municipal Assembly and register that marriage. Bear in mind that if a local authority is registering your marriage, they will not, that date now will register na ebe reflect your marriage certificate. And typical example, Mawari 2019 June, and July, and I'll be lawyer now say register our marriage and now to find application. And by the column that says when married, will state that you married in 2019.
Okay.
But
the registration
all the stamps now, marriage certificate will show July 2021. So last week, a very, very nice caseworker be a friend about one of my applications. Was it Mr. Nkrumah? I'm considering one of your clients' application as a spouse. I see that he married in 2019.
Okay.
However, I've got a letter from the authority that issued the certificate, which is dated April of 2021. I also see on the marriage certificate that all is stamped in April 2021. Please, can you explain as to why this discrepancy? No, don't use the word discrepancy. There's no discrepancy in that.
Everything is in order because yes. You're worried that they say you register.
Yeah, so you can see that we are educating them, and very soon they will get their head around this.
Around the whole
and
thing.
That is why we are advocating that you should go ahead and still do what you have to do and put in an application because it's not cut off if you get it right. Now, I told him, I explained to him that the marriage took place, the marriage was contracted in 2019. However, upon seeking legal advice, he needed to demonstrate his marriage, the relationship, and therefore ask family members to register the marriage. And until that date, because of said authority, our Ghana, or more issue document, they cannot go and put a stamp.
Backdate it, yeah.
So the dates on the certificate with the stamps and the letter are not relevant. The relevant date he should be considering is the dates my client married, which was 2019. Said, thank you. And then 2 hours, decision came granted. So you can appreciate the fact that when we come and say it works, it still works. Just get all
your
the necessary
relevant
requirements met. So what I'm saying to a T4 is say, me pacho, yenkasa kuchantro say, wawari no, tete de, but so many mkomana yedi muni na moti asiye, me pacho say, which year will be, nasa one natina before December. Mo worry, name muno bawa dream so be register worry na. Me pacho, ubetima ko register. Date na worry na ye before 31st. Don't worry about the stamps and any letters. No, this year date. No, what the brain? That is one test met because there are 2 tests. And I also meeting say to me I successful application first, and then one test, and also be sure so marriage near genuine. But now you have to also show why you are applying late. And once with me I will marriage certificates. Now a year before 31st of December. Now what the other. Now, what evidence? I just said, now we need the penalty before then. So, TV licenses, whatever it is, now it shows, say, before that date, now we'll chrome her and answer now any penalty. Now, what trade into one appliance, so before the 30th of June, you better one so now reason chrono, I expand the amount. So, if we are able to meet these 2 tests now, then your application can go ahead and succeed. So, that is why we are saying, if you are here, it's not late that you cannot apply. You can still, because my mom said, maybe you put the topic out, so I've got about 100
I know.
So can we apply? And I said, yes.
Yes, you can apply.
Yes, you can, if you get the dates and everything right. More fear, no problem. I did test back when I was in meeting. I also was sponsor an irrelevant person. Now relationship, so yeah, but and answer yeah. Mamia, relationship was there, and you feel never for me. So it was there before 31st of December. Therefore, you are inside the category set with me about joining relevant. And when I say EU national war year the settlement scheme, now or evidence and no hanum or no ankasano, no ha before 31st. What that means is that he has secured the EU rights for all of his or her family members. So please, The EU law is still there. The EU settlement scheme application is still there. You can still apply if you do your homework very well.
She say me record the Lord ho. Na maybe so cause but mami enkai was say afi and wa join ya we share the community and the law. You live our Facebook BWF Solicitors. You live our YouTube and also so BWF Solicitors. And afi so you live about radio so our UK and afi PAAM TV so our UK ha. Na the door na was so less than a whopper. Very good. Covenant Grace. Yami in Charles and so and you were in Gagaba Lovia. Boy, you know what you break. And Anahima Sapon, we say for say thank you very much. You were video Mensa. Good afternoon, everyone. Also, Nadia, our day Abatumu, Ade Amayan, no, so and you were Dorcas Adum, the best of all. Thank you very much. You were Nanahima Sapoma Bodin, Sansoso, and you were Emmanuel Quay. Also, oh my good afternoon. More about radio so any adinina echiamo. O question is no consensus no obetimi ato ade abraying ewo 07950 422-780. Which means why a year voice note now ode abray 07950 422-780. But we can form our says uko BWF solicitors na ode when he North London 7 Sisters a year tube station at top 0208-493-7380 0208-493-7340. Now Richard, mami ensign and browse you na me bisa say application no one my good examples ya obi de amano atomu ye case worker and tiasia utimi efro your lawyer be my friends anyway say application ko tomu obviously the obi bibisa na say time frame ben and now waiting any decision is it a normal 6 months and now say me relevant EA national mesisi me na Miami EUSS application and it say me de me ho kan ni and now say and a spouse and me ho kan ni ekokotum say amfamana. How long would it take? Or can it be refused even at all?
Okay. So that one is in-country application. Normally, so we UK now we application be a home office. Apart from point-based system applications, we are students and answer we work at those ones. They are in 6 weeks. So we make a decision. But family appendix, family EU, the end we patch up. You were expected, service standard.
Okay.
Legally, so we paragraph 34 of your immigration rules now. I can't say home office for no. I tell you how I'm making decision, consideration, the time and everything. Okay. We take that to be 6 months. That is the maximum. 6 months. Now, minimum the home office for no. Oman how EUSS application. Not more actually, we will aim to make a decision within 6 weeks. I don't even understand why they do
because
that.
They can't do it.
They can. Because once they put application, normally, this is how it works. The definition of when application is submitted in data will call online or submitted. And the young lawyers need static county form data and submitted online. But technically, home office for they are almost starting from time or fingerprints, Okay. So it could be any date in the future from the date you submitted the application. Nonetheless, 6 months. But say first, about a month ago, now Uncle Ben, how so application actually the also way. Or maybe brave, so prayers protocol, complaints, calling them, writing them, and all that. Now, say we sad and no more catch those say. I apologize. So no, we come to Kano.
You apologize.
Why, sorry. When it's a pandemic, we are overwhelmed with applications, and also because of the deadline, we'll be able to meet in Intino. I mean, Mark would testify this. It drew a point to be a recent application for EUSSR. We have to even join a queue before we can even apply online. That is how busy it became. Wow. So imagine that even applying, you have to join a queue, let alone considering the application. And because of say and obia yes application you matie the royal boy and into obia yes application on me patriotic for and into na me Mr. Mackenzie abano applications no a check pass say
Okay.
you might home 6 months first no nanka weeks and about months to say you who say omo you omo ho kakra nti me patriotic so we application no chrome ha as a spouse under EU settlement scheme ma hu be every 3 months e kono na start how lawyer kakra but so less than 3 months in the year mamun how because it's expected. The good thing is so your application now your certificate of application and that is best. What that means is that your application is valid, has been accepted. You can use that to work and show your residence in the UK whilst your application is still pending. And so when you CO in a certificate of application, don't worry. Then you will make a decision because the young say your pre-action protocol crana. Almost like standard letters. Now more now we apologize because of that. So your say is being diluted at the moment. And we don't want to use that too much.
Too much.
Complaint is 24, 28 days and so but they're making an say. Me pacho application e check but then ebeba and omo the interview no so beba mu kakra but me pacho say you throw interview na don't worry say my clients be great me say they will all bear witness say interview no and yet say first na mo Liverpool in me ku busa mo 400 it's a video they will just look at your address na ya mo akọ baby e ben wo na video obi ebusa 1 or 2 things about mo ho ne time mo share ye wo questions e bebusa wa the bay of cover letter and no one I'll call interview now almost said a baby south. We would prepare you and all that. Name yes anima when na something happened and your application was refused. Please don't worry at all because making an application in the UK to regularize your stay here, it compasses doing the application and maybe it being refused. Then you would have a right to go to court to challenge that decision. Okay. So say you
EEA relevant person application come as a spouse. Say if you see do they naturally give you the right to appeal?
Yes.
And now say now be more lawyer for more strategy now be fair crime be so actually see between appeal.
Well, so the fortunate thing is that I have not seen any EU SS application being refused and not given right of appeal.
Okay.
Titino was salad trouble ne say we be extended family right of appeal. No, because they are all close family members. So to Withdrawal Act 2020 the now sharpen is EU now. It gives a reason and a way for you. Under normal circumstances, immigration rules now so what 2002 Immigration Act now. Section 82 no ma obia right of appeal say human rights or say EU settlement scheme application and the EU settlement scheme appendix EU now so ma right of appeal so your application whether Home Office is alleging marriage of convenience or almost a relationship maybe a marriage certificate and say birth certificate a fake whatever they will still give you right of appeal. So they cannot reject application and say you don't have a right of appeal. Now, what I was worried before, which I'm now no more worried about, is Namidjin said so mobile application after 31st of December. Now relationship no and started before then. It is all sure. Me were 2 appeals and the Yapon Mekoye. Lady was it or a sister to name brother or EU relevant person, but she didn't know, so she put in an application under EU settlement scheme in February. What that means is that now we're out because we're extended family member, so she couldn't have applied to the EU settlement scheme even in the first place. But she didn't know she applied. Was sending decision number Mrs. Home Office did not mention the fact that she wasn't under the law to have applied. All that they said is that they are refusing the application because she hasn't shown dependency. So, as a lawyer, in himself, the grounds, the reason I would refuse the application in the court. If Oman can say, meet requirements, say we extended from the member, no, say Oman assessing application, there was no need to interview you, but we are not satisfied that you are a dependent because the documents that you submitted is not enough to satisfy us with that. Good. We are appealing against the decision because they gave her right of appeal. We will appeal against the decision. We go to court and we are going to fight the limited grounds for refusal and nothing else.
Okay.
If Home Office were to bring on board on the day that, well, because of NEA 2002, all things can come up at the date of hearing, we will say we are sorry. Then you have to revise your refusal for us to rebut it again because you cannot just ambush us in court. It is all sharp. Even though say a relevant person to apply under the scheme, no apply, so now the man right of appeal. To see a case appeal, right of appeal, mean coming because me were experts in the house to really talk. Just take us through the whole appeal process.
Lord Mackenzie, me da say, the be me bodra office kwa. Corner desk is one say he does a lot of preparation for the files to be ready to be sent to court, and me Jim Free but he prepares people. Sometimes we do look Mackenzie. I say one corner because me want no phone so prepare will be at the nako. Mr. Mackenzie, at say. Good. Say ye co appeal. It was true. 1, 2. A day na I was said nipa ye appeal a man or no. Oh no. What do you take the person through?
Oh, okay. Me that say yeah. Well, lawyer and I made that lawyer Richie Society say or the MEAPA program is so.
That's right.
Many said here for and then the first day Mobeti Lord Mackenzie.
That's
and
right.
I said Mr. Mackenzie.
Yeah, the Lord.
Lord Mackenzie. And made that Obia say Oba BWF Lord Mackenzie Moho. Obesha appeals. BPR so come among and see. You refuse you and answer one negative decision from a case worker and answer from entry clearance officer from Ghana and wherever. Don't panic because and we have everything in place, very good expertise in place to help you through the appeal process. And see, me can say your mao decision who your application first and your mao decision negative decision and let's say immigration rule and the EA rule whatever if it's immigration rule sometimes you look at it whether it's an appealable decision or not. Then if it's an appealable decision would you brea locate around everything and says what is the ground of the refusal, which lawyer Richard will look at, or any other lawyer or any of us can look at, and then we advise you. So if it's an appealable decision, from there we do our grounds of appeal, and then lodge the appeal for you. Sana start process. And from refusal, then we.
And he said, "Obi, co appealer. You know what you do.
Yes.
But a day in preparation, and nipa ne be here so obey. And the documents or the more from the beginning of the application. No, so something in ba. And now say be a reason cry they refuse to no we here a further document be a much any pakra na set say
yes yes the even here a friend panel and he say okay your lodging appeal amount sometimes at the time of lodging the appeal say your document full for be a say appeal no one we add all to it and lodge it. Okay, mommy, make it this point, which is very essential. And it's first, appeals, manually on paper. Okay, that is all other decision. Every other decision we do it on paper. And CCI nyamia ya dom say HMCTS, which is Her Majesty's Courts and Tribunal Services. Omama, all of them say, obey me a register account on their portal. And we can lodge appeals online now, which is faster and more convenient than the old regime.
Okay.
Okay. So your logic appeal no online sana. Whatever information or further documents, yes, you can advise the person say now we add it to the grounds of appeal, and we can send all straight away. But again, what we have to prepare the person to again is the appeal fee you have to pay, which is 140.
Okay.
Sometimes clients to me mix it that they confuse that with metia lawyer ni kadada. Lawyer ni say what charge me metia ni kanyina man. Me say media me train me court date. And sir.
Okay.
And another thing so I want to tell a TA4 and then say as lawyers, no, you don't pay us, you don't or transfer money into our account. Say we should pay the court fee for you.
Okay.
So sometimes what we do is say we phone them, say your logic appeal now, me freo, say me pacho, me logic appeal, and the bedroom baby I say me intia, and me pacho your card ready. Na minji your card na mintia, me mau.
Let's just say the distinction here, and that must be very clear, sir. When you lodge an appeal, you pay the appeal charge to the court, not to the lawyer.
No.
And he said, lawyer, na juma na o ya ma ono, or lodge appeal ni we ni idea. I feel na will be here for the lawyer's service.
Yes.
And he also be at here, says 140 in a day, court no ho. Whether the lawyer did it for you or you did it yourself, you would pay the £140.
That's correct.
Until lawyer na charge any at the end of the day, a tree and na ebeba. At what time do we know, say, so I charge you say na lawyer be charging?
That time, maybe a time I would the decision, no. A brat lawyer, no. Lawyer no take instruction from you and advise you. That's
No, but
that's the point.
Court fee you say, me charge you
me
say.
charge you.
In total, you say, but 140 in the court. I want us to stress that point.
Okay.
Sa 140 in the day, and call lawyer be able to.
Not at all.
A court no ho.
A court no.
Okay. Richard, mami, it's a very interesting question. As I say, the issue of fee waiver and a home and kekahon. Me bacho. Se mini 140 na. Meet me a court and say, I don't know,
Exactly. I mean, same as yetimi fee waiver, no same as yetimi fee remission, and so in relation to appeals, it is we appeal against a home office decision. Na unisika untimintia. You better assess it. So maybe you are not working, so there's no way you could have the means to pay. Now the 140 fee are for oral hearing.
Okay.
But person will be courts now. Person judge make a decision based on papers and the documents, and they'll be £80, and £80 for appeals that are done on papers, and then 140 for appeals.
Which one would you advise, Ebe?
Please go to court and talk to a judge. I mean, senior, if we know be cheap man, so now what? Sure, then something go paper so, and then the documents and all that, bro. We did a case recently. Very, very competent barrister died. Mark prepared a bundle no be conference before the hearing. It got to do with birth certificate higher dream or home baby say genuine. Now the man ono matu ne reno unfortunately Ephraim nti ono anahwe mofra no you national person or the man but yanye DNA. You see there was a reason behind why we did not do a DNA. We say mofra no omo maame Ephraim. Papa no Emmanuel. We all know the problems with DNA and all that. Well, the last thing he wanted to do or to deal with is to do a DNA and science telling him that the children may not be his. So I said, you know what, we're not doing any DNA, okay? But when we submit this application, almost 70% chance the application will be refused. So, catch it. Because minimum say birth certificate na ne de kono nanse na okoji de passport no. But I didn't want to put him through that emotional because I know what could, although he's confident, but I didn't want that. So you refuse, ne court. Now, my council, we have a meeting, and then we agreed that we will have, of course, oral hearing. And this is important, you know, when you are weighing whether you should have a paper or oral. It's even but will be an oral. It's very good. Now, this was on a video, not even in person. The man made a submission. Fantastic.
Brilliant, fantastic.
Or started from time of OBT, Mameno. They were childhood sweethearts. And omo engineer, or no koye juma civil servant, or no so two kwan, Mameno Shamo Frana, sadly, cancer, Mameno Frim. Or no, or funny mana, Mammy Jomo. None of Mameno Neronetiasino. And I'm so yeah, Juma Kama Wagana, and not there was no need for her to join. There be an papa in the coffee, no or mobile. But man, film and crana affect her emotionally. Into a person, and my friend Baba Genomo University. I didn't know if it was or catch a judge and said, so judge, look at me, you know. So children 18 and 21. I had the privilege to bring them when they were very little because I'm EU national. So can you tell me that 18, 21? If the birth certificate in Amedia Bano, and yet one can say, General, but must have register. And the moon to mean you as a relationship of evidence. And Marsha and Mofra, ya woman, made the death certificate. So are you saying I should do what? So the way that the man made the submission, and you see a man sharing a bit of tears.
Emotion. Yeah,
so the judge said we should just adjourn and reconvene in 50 minutes. We came back and the judge said, Home Office Hope so Oni Assembia can say, apart from the fact said the birth certificates were not, you know, registered within 1 year of the children's birth there. He has finished with the case. Hope say Oni Assembia. Case closed. I reserve my decision. I will send a determination in 2 weeks. 2 weeks time we have a decision appeal allowed. So imagine that we did a paper appeal. And we've done all this long writing. Not judging every day or one of those ones. You know, they always say these things. So you see the difference. Typically, you bring a bit of emotions into it. The judge will be looking at your body language. Yes, so our way is fake. Or it's a marriage of convenience. Oh, yeah, appeal. Now what show long witness statement. Oh, there can evidence who no send a comma judge. Or read your bro in Fakomuye. Because the way you are using the words to tell your story may not even come across as what you wanted it. But when you are telling him or her, they will know. Interdependent, you place all the time 140, 80, but it's a strategy. We have done appeals on paper because it was a strategy. For example, appeal be over sponsor no, as on courts. Okay? Now, technically, if you present the case without a sponsor physically present, that's going to weaken your case. We would elect to go for paper. So everything we do, we have to really analyze.
So strategy, Nadia, I will never take it away from you. I was here for I feel you are joining BWF solicitors in 24 and anyone your Lord Mackenzie, yeah, special case worker. My sister will appeal no. Say Ninsaka no prepare na year na ufiade. Anyway, I was here for lawyer Richard Nkrumah, Bodu Nkrumah, and so and I say ni didn't make change me na RBN. Sanso so and many about na mayete ewaha. O questions, concerns no me budget na fe yababedi and komo. Time flies when you're in good company. Me try my name say, hey, papa my name yakasa. Yebeka say 3 hours na me ma meti for most of some contribution the questions na very relevant. Make I will say we live our Facebook BWF Solicitors and live our YouTube and also so BWF Solicitors and live our Abawa Radio so here in the UK and it be also PAAM TV so our UK. When you link na bomodia share in your network na ubia ensa and kebi. The edi hum komo and said, did you know you can still apply for leave to remain in the UK or enter the UK as a spouse of a relevant EEA citizen? Se unima lawyer Richard ama yehunu senia esi etie. Enti number no active to say 0208 123 1016. 0208-123-1016. And I'll say we send the text and the WhatsApp at the Abrayang mobile number and also 07950 422-780 07950 422-780. Me mampeni for yi anumusio in a minute. Now when we come back, we're going to have Na Mayete on the set where we will be picking some of your questions outstanding during the week. Kaise the various programs ebrewo didi kind BWF solicitors in legal hour Rainbow Radio so and free legal advice GN Radio so and also legal hour sir and Saturday at 12 noon lawyer Eunice sits out and hang out with Vicky our Heritage TV. So then we round up everything at 4 o'clock with the community and the law. All brought to you by BWF Solicitors.
Yeah, fair ma yewo London. Ya ji abasobodie bebree. Ne ya redare ewo mranse mu. Legal services, BTC family law, matrimonial law, immigration, dispute resolution, Ghanaian customary, any family law. Wo BWFDA, yen solicitors edi enijie ene twitwaje wo na yebo nso nya den kra. Yen partner penimpa Bernardo Wusu aye lawyer ewo UK memu bebru mfie duonu nkron 29 years. BWF solicitors kura won ho. Inti se ba na ebusuansem bi te se child care eye abofrahwe mu awarja ye ho twema mentwe ene ohye ana injunction ye de to domestic violence so a ye ma legal assistance ya edimu na ye adwuma so ye child care any family team no nimnia wo famu eweni ya wo brei mu enu ntine ye to ye mboase ma wafutu a esefata ewo kokoa mu ye bie an office free juada ekosi fiada anopa nonkron pa mu ekosi enumre nunsia eye 9:30 am kosi 6 pm ena memene danso eye appointment nko free anopa nondu ekosi ewia no 9 eye 10 am kosi 4 pm ye wo 4th floor ewo Anna House 214-218 Tottenham High Road London N15 4NP.
You're saying about Abusian say o ne yen Asia Sabria na the community and the law and na the war. Now ye BWF solicitors in penny for and come twetwe mu and then what me who say the TBI yitimi a application especially wo ye relevant national with me at the where and answer was spouse or send ye be kan ye kasa mu de ho kafo aba join no UK ha in country application and Richard Amaya ATC. Now answer na mekoso no. Lord Mackenzie, mami misa quick question we answer your extra questions and so answer your picking phone calls in the be. Metia me 140.
Okay.
At the ama court no. Dabe no mo de me court date ba me.
Okay. Yeah, very good questions. Say where be some sometimes a tear for to me a beside almost free almost to me my maybe pressure kakra say oh my lawyer lawyer wa lawyer appeal ya baby pay 3 months ago 2 months ago na da bena me call date beba o sikani de metia da ba up to now me call date number okay yeah person culture etf say we don't manage the timetable for the court.
Okay.
Say o lodge appeal what you are 140 court. Sometimes even after paying the 140 it can take up to 15 weeks for you to get the next direction. And
15 weeks?
Up to maximum. It can take
Wow.
up to 15 weeks.
Okay.
After the payment. Even some of the payment receipts, when you look on it, the court will tell you, say, we'll give you the next direction, or you will hear from us within the next 15 weeks.
Okay.
They categorically state that on some of your payment receipt. So after you lodge the appeal, after you pay, then the next direction that comes to us. Say, okay, now we should provide contact details of the appellant, which is our client. So what we do is we provide the contact details, which is our firm. We are the representative. So we provide the representative's contact details to the court. So from there, then the court will give Home Office another direction. Say, okay, Mr. So and so and so, and now Mr. Kusi, and now Mr. Sapo, and now Lord Mackenzie, appeal against. Okay. Okay, Mr. Weku Fripon, appeal.
Judge, Koku will be the judge. So
Okay.
Oh, okay. No, I leave it to me. Oh, gee. Yeah, I leave it to me.
Okay.
The Lord Mackenzie.
And the judge.
I'll be the judge. Okay.
Okay. And Manyeti, I appeal against your decision, a Home Office decision.
Okay.
And see, here all the supporting documents.
Okay.
What they apply during the visa process and leave to enter or leave to remain process. You hear all these documents. Documents in your friend of bundle.
Okay.
And who your appellant, and the Home Office for your respondent, and the court number my respondent direction to send their bundle, a copy to the court and copy to your representative,
Okay.
which is Yang BWF solicitors.
Okay.
And after that, then the court will tell us, say, we are the representative. We should also prepare our bundle and our appellant skeleton argument, which they call ASA, appellant skeleton argument.
Okay.
We should get these things ready within 28 days or 42 days within the receipt, the time we receive the respondent's bundle.
Okay. Okay.
So
And this is I was saying because there's a lot of work that goes into
there's
it.
so much work.
Yeah.
There's
okay.
so much work that goes into it. So then we don't wait to receive a respondent's bundle before we start working on our bundle.
okay.
So during the process of working on our bundle, you be free appellant no, and I say ni sponsor. Say appellant no waha you be free no. And as a sponsor, no, I be friend, and I ABR, sometimes the appellant is in Ghana because the entry clearance application. So appellant is in Ghana, but you be fresh sponsor. Now you take instruction to draft a witness statement. Witness statement is a very, very, very important evidence judges do rely on. And we don't just write it for them, we help them, but we take their own words from them to help them prepare their witness statements.
That's
right.
Oh.
That's right.
We should spend a day in the office of BWS solicitors. You will love what they do and you appreciate the fact that they work so tirelessly for you because we share preparation and core into the cases and the way every day the bundles, bundles, every day the bundles grow. I can't do it. They do very well. And the entire Mama and Lord Mackenzie, if you experience what he does with clients and how he handles them, you are in safe hands when it is that you go to BWF solicitors. And Mobi Amfa Nani and share BWF solicitors. Lord Richard and Lord Mackenzie, yeah, buy your questions also. And my tea, you're ready. Me ba na ma betwa watum. But my mimi sa question ba ko ewo ha set me nya direction from the court through you. Say ene anachna on this particular date. You be court. What do I need to do? Or once I'm taking it up, I leave everything with you.
Okay. Yeah. Once appellant skeleton argument is gone, appellant's bundle, everything is gone. The copy goes to the court and copy goes to Home Office, presenting also your friend Hopo, Home Office presenting officer ho. And you send it BBR court. You don't have to do anything, you just wait patiently for the hearing date. So before the hearing date, there are other directions before the hearing date. Okay. What happens is sometimes the courts can write to us. I say, when we sent our bundle, they received, and the Home Office to send the bundle, they receive it. When they look at the bundle, look at our bundle, which is a supporting document, look at the Home Office, they could spot something, say, no, let's speak to Home Office for them to review their decision. And say sometimes we can have a letter from the court. I said they want to set a case management review for this particular matter.
Okay.
I said they will write to Home Office and tell them, say, we set this date, write to us, so they set this date for case management review. Number one, case management can depend on two things. Home Office, the court has given Home Office a direction to fulfill, but they did not. They failed to comply. Or sometimes it can come to the law firm or a firm which they have not done, which is a compliance issue. So they can call you and ask for the whole case management review to resolve that discrepancy there. Again, the court can discuss with the Home Office, say, review your decision. Because as we go through all this, the appellant should have been given the visa. So do you want to review your decision so that we don't go for final hearing?
Okay.
Home Office can be adamant sometimes and say, no, baby, I review decision, change it, and I society and court. Then before the judge can set a final hearing date.
Okay. All right. Well, you are in safe hands. When it comes to BWF solicitors, they be a meka, and I won't give any excuse. I am very subjective. Per success, 95 to 99% success. Appeals, maybe Uncle Ben Emma, say appeals are echo you're granting 50%, and 90% of the 50% is coming from BWF solicitors. And that's a fact. The records are there to show. And when the answer when BWF solicitors, EBD and Como 0208 493 7380, now 077 127 61884. Where you Monday to Friday, a free anopa 9:30, Ekosi Enyumre 6 o'clock. Yeah, we see every aso say yes sign and they will bio na sabre yi mu de mene na manyete and na ba hwe abom na fi Lawyer Richard nso so age yen questions no na fi wayi ano ade amaye na
hello
otre
Adom Grace
and Adom Grace ene mako school pa ma Lawyer Richard and Lord Mackenzie actually so does it really answer questions and concerns of Biana?
Bebre and sorry, it's here for medical teacher when I show for while she be a that's and I'm a so you real cool answer Bebre na adiba kwa medical o can say can I say die they worry you know. And they important. I'm submitting how dream on pass. So, if I celebrate or worry anniversary, and yet Dana Moko register, no. And yet Dana our any take place, no. So, I date na moboto say, a that's it, that's it, Tina Nico who are and then ye celebration. So in that case, no, say near Lawyer Richie, a kai and we demo. Internet for say unimpa say who fall into that category now. Our idea yet to me why corner why now you celebrated that date now hope so ultimacy. Yo, more questions they are doors so now you use some any dating. Main content because the time a copa. Lawyer Richie, Mammy BC name ma or the Omwaba na bakuye 19 or ye uni and a bakuye 18, Mr. 17, and Feno Benya 18. Now, mobile enche, person moko school. Now, so ye name say, Chromo hadie, Ubeko school, now Benya, Ubetia home fear. You have to be here 3 years. Mewa we monso ye nkwala omaba bane maamene de watna ha wa ye dwuma sa over 3 years no se bane se omo be ko school na omo kwaji home student fee na ombe qualify ana say omo ntumi and depending on omo maame no say omo maame na atna ha 3 years until they qualify pacho.
Well, thank you, Tina. I mean, so I'm saying, and I am judge, no, also more baroness, so baroness Tina. Now, yeah, one answer question from the starting, and they said, I'm say EU national, yeah, can I say, yeah, as you may say, we all have for more than 5 years, and typically, when you're indefinitely, why in the settlement scheme, saving onya crown all 5 years, and then the mayor Babako 19, Bako 18. I suspect that Oyamo 5 years residence.
When a fee no maba.
Okay. Or the family permit in a buy. So EU
family permit EUSS.
So in the end, Omobenya 5 years leave to remain. So the Omomame a one idea.
Okay.
So Omopesomo school up for well, Omonyama for 18 and 19. I also moko school and the normal A be 19 beko university 18 be obeko college. The Oko university no. And I'm said we can kai na wo ba UK has an onyen di 3 years into no. So Oko university I was say or show say obetimi atua ni fees no. Why? Because so wo krom hanum na wo hwe student finance regulations na. I said the first day before the start of your course, and you should have been habitually resident in the UK for the past 3 years.
3 years, okay.
So whether now the me perspective for taking note from this and say, so we are British citizen impo not say we UK for the last 3 years. Now so university you will not be a home student. It doesn't matter. Wow. So sometimes your name say yeah mistake say me wa krata, me wa indefinite leave, me EU national, me a British citizen. Me patrol enye no na yehwe. As long as although so we legal, we indefinite leave or 5 years with under normal circumstances come for 3 years. Let's move things forward. I'm afraid say more 5 years leave to remain. Not 4 years time. They were 19% call university. Wa had for more than 3 years. Obetimi you be classified as home student. Obetimi funding the grant ni bibia. Because we were having for 3 years. Although when you settled, but under EU regulations, and I'm saying, "Mama, secure the right to wahano, near man leave to remain under the appendix EU need or qualify for student finance. Now, we're to qualify for all the grants if we meet the habitual residence test. It is a CAI can say there, unfortunately, for university, but over college and your college funding. There's difference between college and secondary school and primary school. The support they will get and university. University is on its own individual.
Right.
And to me, but so I'm a friend of Baha. We share Education Act in 1996 now. Obia was it or before you below 16 Bia must go to school. I'm saying sometimes midway boom. Yeah, na you could fire nana near Manabaha. Yeah, you didn't say because Omuni Krat and 20 minutes go school. But for school, the immigration someone come.
Okay.
University and immigration 7 of them. If in college, go to my course, so when you can go to college. But university there, for you to qualify for the grants and be classified as home student or international student, you should have been here, 3 years before the start of the course in order to be classified as home student and also get the grants.
I see. Wow, and yet or more quincha na college the ombe to me come. Talk of college, obi nso can say. Onyini pi intino opeso okoji indefinite. Na brofo kasa no eni sa English test no. Oye mami, but undu sa age na
65.
Undu hokra. I think she's around 40 to 45 for. Now so school you want kodru fie. Mene ni di nkomo brofo te ase ane come go. Because onene nananom into most of the time no or cook room ne ade onye obi kan ho tese ono ankasa no apart from enwumre kra yanko ikita iki ni akoye edwuma ba no onhyada ni because on take we so ne time aso so cultural English test no o de abeda meja me na me sie se o person cultural English test bra na me coach you na me nkyerɛ ne obeye into waba na ma me nti apart from go and come kwan bi wo ho a obetumi ya exempt no wo sa de we ho.
Yes, and it depends. Me wo obi ba be home Wednesday on similar issue.
Okay.
No 2.5 ni so we quite the fourth one now. Or qualify actually last year. But because of say only English and the life in the UK into almost have another 2.5. You see, the problem is, so sometimes people say, "Na my intima English, life in the UK na." Then they may then, na 2.5 sir, because the requirement for you to be able to get indefinite leave to remain one and say overpass the English language at level B1 and the life in the UK test. Me pacho say unye over 65 years and now below 18.
Yes.
Na say one area. Yare so we are but the be more life ma doctor bit me ama evidence say won't me and sure at the end of the day you must do in this case na auntie the beboa and they say the obe human advice am the man on and say answer na oba no so o catch me say won't me owo ni refi ade until me say onko na GP honom na omutimi confirm say we was a problem na enti omon me printed your exempt form or obetima complete so that you don't have to do the English and the life in the UK. If a practitioner, a consultant certifies say we will be because of a name be a course of life won't mean sure whether physical or mental no sign then you can be exempted from doing that anti unkohuni GP. Now we find the problem and dying. So much me manual letter I confirm say and ya the says English no obey me and life na the previous one I'm here what they call in naturalization. Let me say auntie or my Facebook and so it's me auntie me do the year example. Ono the no or okay or can English BBA come. But on to me for more than 5 minutes. But then the test near then is also tenacity no computer then more than that about 15 minutes.
A life in the UK, yes.
And my friends know when names are computer then I'm she can sit down for that long. To GP neutral say although say there's no problem with the mind or thinking or mental physically no on to me tenacity and na hons nya so mema na bed or hon na what media that was no the laptop because of that you certify say on to me tenacity sure omo etiase nationality people no omo kra na omo ha adwen say indefinite for but omo te say because of you know she didn't have to do the English and then got indefinite permanent residence going for naturalization trouble and so it means sa doctor certificate na for her no that is the only way I go around the life in the UK and the English.
Very common cause you any questions need send you did dime yani you no cry that me but o dey mendi kan ka ba kom you for your mobile you can say just around my friends so be do kromo ha 23rd of June.
Yeah.
Ni ma me o se ni papa na kofa ni bae enti wa ba no now ofre me nam kwan so ya obedenya enai na was na me can be trauma. I said, I mean, your lawyer, and I saying, oh, they could be lawyer, they could be lawyer, and one more shaman, Miss Romy, be lawyer. Also, one, obedient and nine. Two, you preset on obedient, or see or start say or call online but nyoma na ye bisa no saa gov na bisa no otumo say onti ase enti bibi saa no also be hu lawyer now no ankasa because on shade hu exactly what to do then obey answer na why okay onko ye can say back on entry no. I hope so.
Yes, I mean, first of all, I would advocate for my services to be, patronized.
Okay.
Although say, yes, if you are competent enough, you can actually the EU settlement scheme. And I'm say, by June, I suppose I'm sure the family permits in our baby room, and commit me on one bit me. But said I can say, and I'm say after the deadline date, all the questions in the baby I become home. So I'm sure not a mistake.
It's true.
Just I may advise and sort of own lawyer. And yet expensive beer, not yen man, because I was also show say, although say not only Chromoha before deadline date, or no, Hanum before deadline date, the date in a 1 year application. That is one point.
Yes.
Another point is to say also open NI or Bahanum June. You says so Bahanum after April, you have 3 months, only 3 months to do the application.
Okay.
It's not when your family permit will expire. 3 months into June, July, next month, 1 year. Illegal. And Oma will be supporting and 1 year because of the fact that no had June. Now say yeah, but July, now 1 year, there should be a reason why he or she did not put that through. In relation to N9, so so settlement scheme application, and now a generated 3434 number no manner. Now a free N9 phone, which me call online. No application. No one said. Now, so no more interview, I'm so master video phone ones. The cuts is a long wait system. No problem with N9, but say more try so more remedy situation. N9 day, me pass on your application because N9 application no be the reference number. So why EU settlement scheme application now. So that one first, and then the N9 second. And then the any problem. It was a self-explanatory.
Case closed. Oreku, what's it?
Nah, but that's it. Mame and try na me share omo our Facebook page and also so kakra na yemfa questions no be emra. Lawyer, we say or your dependent application last year August. The decision came in February this year, and you refuse to to be found where now. Can I go ahead with the proxy marriage since I've been refused before?
Okay, so February.
Or your family dependent application last year August, and a decision about February this year, and you refuse soon. The uncle is nowhere to be found.
Okay. Okay, so once now my colleague Mark any didn't come on. Yeah, the baby bam say what be a strategy. But the only problem with this gentleman is we're extended family member. Now, so what quarter? Now, what challenge? I suppose the reason for refusal would have been dependency because normally, so we extended family member, I had a refusal and either say omunji relationship into, but so we DNA that would have been overcome. The second test to overcome would have been the dependency, which what the name of Saint Krakow say omunye satisfy so we are dependent. Into so what courts now what can once much judge so we are dependent into yamfa asset na mawa judge ora me pacho. Wa se papa ya also dependent on so we knew judge na sembe
no work.
On say make us no me were a very lovely case be I decided on this week me share with Etifo. And only our different from adult dependence is a dependence semna ye can. Dependence in it any pan or your sponsor. So when you are nobody. You are it's cut. The root is just cut off. So you can't function. And it's an uncle now your sponsor no is nowhere to be found. And he would also be nowhere to be found in court, unfortunately. Because Senkaya warrior dear, we would always have other means that you better go about because your case is very rare. Sponsors and uncle, there could be a good reason. They are fighting. So he said he won't come. Yeah, a judge will understand. But with a nephew who is dependent on an uncle,
and the uncle is
and then
over.
you've done application and probably they've refused it because they are not satisfied that you are dependent on your uncle, and you go into court and your uncle is nowhere to be found. There is no case to answer. So me pacho shusha uncle. So one who dia where a good case there again tactical on papers. Now me can so uncle show statements and send uncle. But you know what I'm talking about. Into orbit my on papers. Now what send the documents na because as if you know evidence or the application so depending on the uncle so on papers all the evidence in the no actual witness system no argument. Mr. Mackenzie ball skeleton argument so and only a barrister and court as small back and judge so you don't want to go there because when you want to man in physical but a barrister can write a skeleton argument with the fact say because papa no senka won sponsor one ko amfani ma mo anya application in the first place so appeal ni wona wo huni bi ma na wo court na unya no man ko ampacho revert to paper application. That is a good example of what we discussed earlier. Okay. Now what the Nyaman call, 50-50. Who knows?
Who knows? It could happen for you. Okay. Maminfa, another question. We say another long one, but okay. Good evening, lawyer. Please, my question is, I did marriage with EU man in July 2020, submitted the application and went to do my fingerprint in October 2020. My application was refused in November because the lawyer uploaded wrong payslip. I did another application in May with the same man's document, but later cancelled the appointment for fingerprints because the man's settlement application was refused. Reason being that the document he submitted has been reported to be a lost document, so he should send them more proof. Okay, Madiana, every screen so my question is, can I do another marriage and backdate it? Looking at the situation concerning the fact of service that. So I never couldn't you.
Right. So I'm breaking it down. So worry. I did marry an EU man in July 2020 and was submitting an application. A fingerprint, but the sponsor application has been refused because of yes, an idea there. Right, has been reported.
Lost document. Yeah.
Okay. For we have to immigration as in this case. Okay. I mean our the worry now ultimately is after 1 year. Technically, because your matrimonial contract 73 or say ultimate worry for 1 year and about ultimate illegal separation. For immigration purposes, say me for there's no problem with that. I mean, we have moral and we have legal. So we and now I go for no divorce certificates. Now I say sure before as a new application. But me pacho Sadebi Honma, oh yeah, say it will raise suspicion. And then all of a sudden, we application I say you refuse because of sponsor no ID has been reported lost or stolen. We are no Saturday another EU
the application.
It's just but that does not mean say your place cannot succeed because there could be a reason why. Let me give you one example. So my minua by obehumia. The enkoma ibetime din say now there has been a domestic abuse in the relationship. Inti papa no pese o punish no. Inti what the name ama no, o ma worry. Why an application? What the application you call? No o fetch that report ama crow no free so be a French national. No I catch the embassy say ne card no and the passport are knowing very well that the wife has used that ID to apply. Therefore the application will be refused so that she will be deported or removed from the UK. As a lawyer, I can make a submission that my client has suffered domestic abuse and therefore an example is the fact that this same man who gave her the ID to apply has reported the card lost or stolen. That is evidence. What is one evidence of domestic abuse?
Wow.
There's no interview because she cannot even find this man. He left home. So everything points to the fact that there has been an abuse, and therefore, so So Jaya call you wire for I would really pursue this to the end and go to court and see what will happen. Afterwards, you can marry somebody else.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe it's
Mighty, sorry. Now okay, baby.
yeah, na me kan yeah, na I don't know. Yeah, na be brave me wo case bi sa or say be man is on fa documents on signed divorce paper on so on fee into no. Meanwhile, ma me so nya obema or person wire na de na ye case.
We can dispense with service. we can make an argument to a family judge that you know, so you've petitioned for divorce and then the man won't respond. You can say you've done whatever you've done. I mean, if it's not a contention, yeah, you can ask for the court to dispense with service and then move on with your divorce.
Lawyer, Kakrakaba could be Ewaha. I've just heard Lawyer Richie say an illegal person can go to college in the UK and qualify for aid. Please, when did this come into effect? Because last year a friend had to forfeit his college because he's got limited leave to remain. Student Finance refused to fund his course. Can you have a topic about this subject?
Well, I mean, you see, when we say something,
Yes.
so when you go to the Education Act, it did not mention your immigration status. Okay, so you can go to, so they want to see your ID. Your
Yes.
ID is your passport. If you are below 16, you need consent of your parent or your guardian. So we call Hackney College and also we call Peckham College and Pacho, you better show immigration status. You see, sometimes you should understand that there is the law and there is the people you are meeting and how they will receive you. Asema yekana emrane say anka woko college and answer woko secondary school you show immigration status. But depending on, because they know to buy na was skin year to no opeso who say oh assistant in our school na although say we every college they will say well our policy we have to make sure that you are not illegal in the country.
Yes.
Depending on your age, so you're over 16 now, they can check your immigration status. We are talking about Education Act that will place you under 16. Because 16 for college. My daughter, or also over 6th form, on college. It is or illegal no college and can't go boost an immigration status. Yeah, be fun. But baby, I one area now so they want to see your
immigration status.
But your age no. So we over 16 there, they want to know how you are here.
Okay. Would it be provocative to ask our lawyer for a copy of your application and all the cover letters?
What will it be
provocative?
To ask your lawyer for a copy of your application. Okay, so me so we share solicitors lawyer adwuma ye wo anema boy ho ban de wo say. So yem for BWF solicitors as an example. Abibia what your principal or kase yen de oba na ye application mawa. You best send a copy of the cover letter. The application form we completed is your property. So it's your intellectual property. Is because that is so the contracts between us, the retainership, and they say, I did be a baby and also a mouth copy. So lawyer and oversight. Intina say a young farmer ask. It's within your rights to get everything about your application.
True.
Please, Intimbacho.
And you're provocative. But for crying not
right. So because now when you copy of the application and in the future because your immigration history, how would you know? So then or cancer you won't know. So please get everything, including the cover letter. When I joined BWF solicitors, one issue that I couldn't work out my head on was to ask my principal. So say, why are we sending the cover letters to them? Because that is all that we have. That's our law. They will go and but we have to do, unfortunately, because SRA requirements, everything, the code, we have to. So although it's your hard work, doing all the research and putting all the law, you have to give it to them.
I drink no cry.
Say, I make a say. Me, you know, my wife's younger sister, or no. You say, a pocket lawyer because application, my wife gets one. cover letters I'm chewing now, only in a copy, you know, so open one show say, okay, you know, you have to do it. And it's helping people, and they're successful.
And I don't know.
So, Obia will write, say, Onya, me copy of the application and the cover letter.
Okay. Breno, but let me concentrate more on comments in the idea. Also, Henry Vlad Norte, British citizen and gives birth outside the UK. Will my child be automatically be British? If so, please, can I apply for a British passport at the country of my child's birth? Is it really coming home?
Vlad, I'm saying, me who say West African way, walk home, me fashion man. And then, he's a lovely man. Yeah, Vlad, yes. So, we had Section 1 of the British Nationality Act in 1981 now. As it said, you walk above whether I will chrome her and I say outside. Now, one of the parents, since 2006, first time I am a but after 2006, you say, Papa, no, so a British, over to me, a British citizen. It doesn't matter. First, you know, the Nanka a complicated kakra. The obey passport application. The problem with the passport application, overseas passport application, is the duration you will get a passport. It's as if you wanna get a gold. It will take you 1 year, no more issue passport. So what we normally do is that because the child is British, we will prove that and apply for right of abode. And then Madam Lady Eunice, Kasafa right of abode. Right of abode, and say. And I'm saying about Freya, ya won't know Ghana, never pay a British citizen at the date of birth, into Section 1 of the 81 Act, and say, a profane British in it. Obetime apply for right of abode. That is doing a Ghana passport for the child, going to the British High Commission, putting the application, near the stamp of born a Ghana passport, and say, a profane we are British, but only passport. Therefore, Mumfa Bibi Mumuna owns me from Bra, UK, Obaha, no abetting the passport, and only a quicker. Because all your passport application now. Back and forth, almost a year over, not on one issue. I don't know why they are like that. The child is British, but to come here quick, you know, but the child is British, no doubt about it.
This one is for Lord Mackenzie. Jennifer, a champion, the right able assistant of Lord Mackenzie. Hey. My soon able lady, a champion. Auntie V, thank you very much for your contribution. Now, person the dodge, but me TV fan. Lawrence, but you have a question. We will say, Nipode, a unibuy, sir, obetimi, application, or say, I'm asking if I do a family dependent application and it has been refused for more than 6 months. Now, can I do a different application, which is the proxy marriage EEA spousal application?
Of course, that is a different application. So you were dependent on your EEA national family member, and I was sure about. But then again, the timing will come into play.
Okay.
Because once we application is 6 months ago. Now let's work something out. Technicalities. We our application maybe I refusing recently. Now I don't know worry EU national because we are in July. We our application no maybe November or whatever. Okoye application say ebi okoye aware. Now also worry August and I said June or July 2020. And then our year application Jina uncle so in December as extended family members whilst you were married and had the right to apply as a family member. Because time you know dim one because say you know and I'm say not an application so worry you could have withdraw the application and put it because you know. But obitman excuse well, na me nim. So I thought that once I've applied, I should wait to get that decision. But as soon as I put that application in, then we did 2 weeks time I'm married. But I was waiting to see what will happen with this. So once I be I can buy more options. Yeah, these are the weaknesses of your case. And they said they might think that Senkanawa Warrior in last year and can for extended family member application and also can say, well, me did 2 years and I'm worry, but now me chance me who decision and sana. Fair enough, it's your word against their word. Although yes, obey me our EU national, but I also was an aware last year. you go past 30th of June. Also, no reason why or your application, you know, after the deadline date, and then it's possible.
Yeah, say open strategy, open the best advice. Open say anyama everything you have to tell me here ma na ode oni extra BWF solicitors. BWF solicitors Monday anopebia omo emma yen bibia yebetimi ade aboyen tuma no na afi yesua ehunu say na mmra no ene ade eti. Now it is something we call the legal nugget. Now eno ena ya na ya say quiz question no eba betoso na utimi yi ano a na wachire me say oye woga enya sadia I'll drill you but mamin kope me ye nuggets no na menfa mrewo na de medi kan ebisa where's my nugget for the day okay mamin kofa emra me kofa no quickly ede free young system no more ade aba na enoni or say UK immigration rules provide for adult dependent relatives to be granted visa to join their family in the UK if they are unable, even with the practical and financial help of their family member in the UK, to obtain the required level of care in the country where they are living, because it is not available and there's no person, close relative, home help, housekeeper, nurse, carer, care or nursing home in the country who can reasonably provide it, or because it is not affordable. To succeed, the applicant must prove that their physical condition meets threshold of requiring long-term personal care to perform everyday tasks. It is always good practice to support the application with medical and other evidence. This is a case quoted, that is Mobeen versus Secretary of State for the Department, 2021, very fresh case, EWCA CIV 886. That is the 14th of June, 2021. Wow. But we manager was he speak English? Me too.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about adult dependence for some time now, and it's one area that is very, very difficult, especially to lawyers. I mean, if you are here, when we talk about adult dependence in this regard, we are talking about immigration rules, not EU law. So let's get the facts correct. So EU law, you could bring your father, your mother, your parents here, no problems at all, once you can show that indeed they are your parents and they don't depend on you until 30th of June, because the dependency was assumed. But since 30th of June, you have to show that they depend on you. Now, in this case, because it's immigration rules, because what we are talking about is somebody who has indefinite leave to remain. So that's in the immigration rules. Now, the case law you mentioned set a threshold to meet. All that we are saying is that in order for you to bring your adult dependent to the UK here, or if he or she is here with you, you have to show that the person needs your care to function. Everyday function is, we can define that as somebody who, personal care, so brushing her teeth, bathing, eating. If somebody would have to support you to eat, actually feed you, that is the level. It's a very, very high threshold to meet, and therefore it's always not as if anyone can meet that. We call it the impossible immigration requirement. Having said that, if in this case we can show that the parent or the adult dependent, if you read the scenario, well, since she's been here in the UK, she's able to look after herself by even helping the grandchildren. The grandchildren are there. Yeah. So if she's able to help, the children that are in the family, then why would she need care from somebody else?
I see.
And because of that, she will not be able to meet the threshold to succeed with adult dependent application. Before the concession from Home Office about, once you are here, you can switch and apply. She could have been expected to go back to her home country to apply and come, because you can't apply from the UK. You have to apply from outside the UK to come as an adult dependent. So in this case, I mean, well, we're gonna put it to audience to give us the answer, but the explanation.
Me question them by you. Where you not get to that?
Yeah. So that is the explanation.
Okay, then let me go and bring out the question.
I hope I haven't given too much away. So
no, I hope so. Because yes, microphobia is smart. Okay, now let me be my teacher self, and I'll go to the question. Ubi you, very interesting. I told you a smart way of strategy. Ajo, an 89-year-old Ghanaian school teacher who suffered from arthritis, depression, and high blood pressure, came to visit their 3 British children here in the UK in 2014. Okay? Whilst here, she had help with support with shopping, cooking, and private health care, but otherwise, she essentially looked after herself. She helped with childcare for her grandson. Her children could afford to house her in Ghana and provide her with care assistance. She made an application as an adult dependent relative for indefinite leave to remain. Okay, here's a scenario in you. Mami, we're 89 years. No, a school teacher, Ghana. Na poso, we really know. Shadema, the beer, no dear bobo depression, high blood pressure, binina, and or buy a bestra, Nema means Amoya British, about 2014. Or Hano, yeah, shopping the man, yeah, no idea the man, private health care, no, but otherwise, she essentially looked after herself, even though she was having help from her 2 children. Or boy, more with child care. Her children could afford to house her in Ghana and provide her with care assistance. Okay. Or your application as an adult dependent relative for indefinite leave to remain. Ne money are British. What is likely to be the outcome? Was the likely outcome of the but lawyer for no trouble for Mpacho and kind of differently because Ibia was secret. Or can end Nina Bia when the what Canberra for no what we had no the my main kind of question is you sit here now because there's a reason. What is likely to be the outcome of her application? 1. Granted indefinite leave because she is a dependent relative needing help. You remember indefinitely because obia ojina ne manoso na ohiam wanso. Number 2, granted in limited leave because her children are all British citizens. You see, you have 2.5. No. As a parent. Number 3, refused because she doesn't meet the threshold of requiring long-term personal care to perform everyday tasks. What's our case in the more? You say, yeah, shopping money, you know, do money, yeah, or money health care, but otherwise, she essentially looked after herself. Does it make any? Okay. Number 4, granted indefinite leave because she doesn't have any family in Ghana. Okay, so I will say the children could afford to house her in Ghana. Does it ring a bell? Or none of the above? I was for we can't share lawyer riches so on Yanos here, but I'm waiting for your answers. Pam pam padam. Okay. Oh, my teeth is here no apart. Okay, yeah, maybe I'll say, maybe I'll just simply point essay number 3. Refuse because she doesn't meet the threshold of requiring long-term personal care to perform everyday tasks. And no, maybe I'll do, I don't know, Frank Charles is saying number 3. I know I need Mabel DNB. Okay, Mabel. Okay, Mabel is doing something very interesting here. I answered 2 days ago. I need an award, please. Now, 2 days ago, me my answer normal. But if you get to try it, I'll get you an award. I'm going to get several souvenirs from BWF. But when you'll be online, also, I'm in Emma. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
May I quick question with a lawyer?
Oh, quick question, Mr. Lawyer.
Pardon.
Na me quiz no nyano. Why? Okay, but you be a lawyer question.
If I chose Obi Wali Infancy Union as a beer situation now, Infancy and challenges now, who be a not the manual. Most will be retention of right and never be at this. For example, we be on Nipanata Infancy beer more than 2 years. Maybe first of all, a bram Infancy or Warren or not more than 1 year. A one in the warrior and 1 year bear. And that also be months on office or any time as a partner on Infancy beer. 2 years of crown funds abba. And then a brown funds and as a trans, Yana as a trans, no, and so pro 1 year. The party bizarre as a bassy or no ban and tempting, or an amtawanta will be a cause of a bit me affecting as a trans.
Yes, so the answer is yes, a bit may affect as a unless there has been some intervening events, be to say domestic abuse. And the case that because I may share with a telephone is any asema will be say. I'm so recently na ye ma me be home na wawari EU national na why an application come on yes one right interview papa no say uncle okay and na me be say I didn't know papa no say uncle no say well I mean papa no dey omo worry no problems society into na ma application no delay no na finally no all agree say obey application na man no what they got 2 months and some makers said domestic abuse definition has been widened to include financial pressure, coercion. So all those are evidence that was of a DV. Although say papa no fan and san can no, and it might be brave or a show domestic abuse. Now, me catch a home office for say interview na or more invitation or more my client is willing to attend the interview, but without the sponsor because interview, for and then the caseworker emailed back to say that can we provide evidence as to why partner domestic abuse. So I made a submission that we don't have physical evidence like police report or anything because she specifically asked for GP report to see whether there has been any depression, and I said she hasn't got a GP because the man has not even the man has made sure that she doesn't even register for a GP. That got her thinking that truly this woman might have experience because if you are in the UK and you don't even have a GP as a woman, to do all your tests and all that. That has been successful. So the interview was cancelled, and then the next 2 days the letter I received was, can I put everything, because we spoke on the phone, in writing as a submission and send it to her? I did that, and then as soon as she received the submission, 2 hours time, she granted it.
Wow.
In this case, my brother, we question and say, under EU law, the first, nanka, BB anywhere, it just says, we were in lasted for 3 years, that if we retain rights now. That's it, our renew go, what is rights and Ukrata. But with the advent of EU, Appendix EU, the immigration rule section na a woho say, so who are a British citizen, na Krata as a partner, not there has been domestic abuse, which me application now indefinitely. Omuti bibia beshe Appendix EU numa. So which me demonstrate say you have suffered domestic abuse as a person who is married to an EU relevant person. Obetimi say what's you there was a amount asetna no, but our na enema enquiry. Please, there are 2 things you can do. Is either you can keep quiet and keep your marriage or your marriage certificate and toho, okay? Man that baby. Na kakra 3 years enchum. Na ubetime jai mama no, okay? Unye jana what retain rights and the only ni assemble until 5 years from the date of marriage in the son, no acquire indefinitely without needing your spouse anything from her. Okay. That is one. Sense of mama no Very, very, very crafty. Now, one person will go away and obit my petition for divorce. Whilst I won't even say more and not lasted for 3 years. So, yes, I didn't know your man divorce certificate or cratana say. Because one retain no rights, and I also saw one but said also
domestic
if the divorce predates your application for domestic abuse, you are almost certain to fail. Because you are renting our domestic abuse happening. Unless the one that we did, that we are still waiting, we have a way. But into case in the patrol, 2 options. Obey the also 2 years something, Nanka 3 years about. Now if you work on cancel marriage, 3 years in the one shower anymore, you are still under her spell. The way be a best unless a why divorce. Okay? It is a 3 years in the banner shower anymore, we are independent.
Okay.
So 3 years now, necessary how I do patrol. So the man is and 5 years from the marriage, and man indifferent. And yes, idea you can go for DV application so that Home Office will be aware. Say a DV until I work on my no air disturbable. Okay.
Okay, me patrol in. Few minutes and I'll boss on a break that
marriage.
Ariana said, "Bra was starting in the time, and I say, Bra was it by."
Okay, so the return rights requirements, and it said the date of marriage into so 2018, you almost certainly have overcome the 3-year marriage requirement. Now what you said, one at least for 1 year. Into my example, you have say more year marriage certificate to Ghana, most more 2017, but over UK last year. You remember with me, my worry Ghana 2017. And I feel visa no when you family payment now about last year. So it me show say over UK 1 year about although say what were UK for only 1 year, but you can see that your marriage has lasted for 3 years. The only requirement that is crucial in your case will be to have been with her in the UK for 1 year. Therefore, you can cancel the marriage. Until you say our data back room and once you can get 1 year resident in the UK with the spouse and can get 3 years backwards when the marriage was contracted, obey me, I cancel marriage. Okay.
Okay, so in this case, for example, only not time fans only not in a base be 2 years and over, and maybe our and be fans the 2 years, fine. And I thought to be a moon, so was I a bass hour montema, mass hour montema, and ground montema.
Then you don't have a problem at all, sir, because nobody would be thinking of within marriage of convenience. But so, worry, let's calculate your case here.
2018.
So we don't have a problem. So my brother, but
if 2019 as well.
Oh.
Well, just work 3 years. My maths is not good. So 3 years from the date of marriage, you can divorce and retain your rights, okay? If you have 3 years of marriage and 1 year of residence in the UK. But some person will be our area. You didn't 5 years back from data or entire UK now. So the family permit in the buy and then you can go for indefinite leave to remain.
Oh, so for example, was it turn out in review the next be I'm fan say
if you came with a family permit, so by
Matthias,
good, okay.
Okay.
Now, but
so in this case, it's not to be a fan. Who flower really more? Man, who do from you be in your center?
Oh, why? Say depending. Chromanum about fry between the BBI and the wow and anything. Okay. BBI as a benefit and as a crater.
No, ABF has already do as a back.
Oh, that's how bit have direct access to your children. And to say when my manager worry and say, oh, well, your case you don't need any direct access immigration rules, which is expensive. You can keep your EEA leave to remain, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
But what answer me question no?
That's an easy.
Thank you for your contribution. That was for me a couple of answers quickly. Now, lawyer files na enyi no baby brio ho I was say okoye ehun adwuma answers ni bi aba. Okay. Maybe I'll say answer 2 days ago me say me chana there so twa dia. Frank Chow essay number 3. So answer so and me call Nanefia say number 5, none of the above. I played it very safe. On passing the Sania war Lydia meant to say number 3. Lydia, are you sure? And in Koshe another one. Yao Boachi Ajimai. The answer is number 1. Ezekiel Johnson. Can you show the question again? Ezekiel. Okay, onwa. I mean, famra. Away. Because I was at my lawyer. Idea no, Emma. Okay. But question no. Ajo is an 89-year-old Ghanaian school teacher who suffered from arthritis, depression, and high blood pressure. Came to visit her 3 children, British citizens, in the UK in 2014. But our friend, your time now soon. Whilst she here, she had help with shopping, cooking, and private health care. But otherwise, she essentially looked after herself. Ezekiel, once a day. And now we also abu pisa home. Fumu. Na no and of say fumu no say. Okay. Henry Bloodnaughty refused because she doesn't meet the threshold if she can look after herself. Her children can afford to house her in Ghana. If not, she could be giving the entry clearance visa. Braku, please let me be smart and say the answer is surely in the one of the answers provided in the question. Henry, I don't like that. Do you fear some? Okay, lawyer. But your answer every day.
So I mean, Judge,
and I'm confirm answer
sometimes I'm saying that the important is so let's see why it's not the other ones.
Okay.
Can we have this? So
let's see number 1. Granted indefinite leave because she is a dependent relative needing help.
So to explain that, so question is what is the likely? So what that means is that it could be any of them, but the most probable one.
Once I make say, me read it, I make catch you. Be I said, when careful because
she can be granted indefinitely. A good caseworker could say, I tried to. She needs the care but the most likely, answer. Into number 1, granted indefinitely because he's a dependent relative needing help. Just because you are a dependent relative who need help, it's not in itself enough to meet the threshold set because suddenly can adult dependence, requirements are very, very high. And you will be almost bedridden. Let's just say so swap. So what Ghana, there is no family member provided care. And now say the problem is even though there is no family member in Ghana to provide that care that you need, sponsor even so she cannot pay anyone. So you can see that you can say, well, there's no family member. Well, you can pay somebody there to provide the care, and that is why it's almost impossible to meet, because how can you really able to show that there's nobody there, or even if you pay somebody, they can't provide the care. And it's number 1 may not be likely. Granted limitedly because her children are British citizens. Now there again is a good one there because question I was say 89-year-old Ghanaian school teacher waba besra the children. This word children is not children. It's her children. They are over because they have children. That is why we've talked about grandchildren. So we assume that they are not below 18. Because when you're below 18, I bet me another very correct answer. Say, you have a man 2.5 because of you see that. But assumption that over 18. Onti minjina ne over 18 enya parents root and appendix FM.
Okay.
Now you call say you just everyone the next trouble. You call number 4 so indefinitely because he doesn't have any family and nobody can carry and say and will not hold and will not.
None of the above and they are too safe.
I'm say principal him say none of above no yeah then it would, the quiz won't have any effect. So I suppose we won't have none of above as
an
as
answer.
an answer.
Okay.
So then we are left with we refuse because threshold no master is too high that although she needs some sort of help or care, it's not that high that it cannot be provided somewhere else, and therefore the application will be refused.
So the answer is numero 3. Ezekiel Johnson playing it very safe. One man number. Or see, she doesn't meet the threshold unless under EE. Anyway, that's one very interesting. I really don't want to miss this quiz segment for all the gold at Obuasi because explanation lawyer Richard Ade and my son any other lawyer coming from BWF Solicitors there's Timi Amayen sa explanation na yate ye ho ase and nti senior etie no nyame aduma Monday so ye another one ebeto ho na the clue I can give you is mostly the nugget we give will lead to the question. Inti who nugget na watimi adua de no afa ho sa because nugget ni ya adua ye de ema ye gina so ama scenario de bisa o question ni ya static case a de sa scenario no ebaye so that when say sabe Uncle Ben, Uncle Richard, Auntie Eunice and afi Uncle Charles, Lord Mackenzie, Lydia Champong, Ajua and Lawyer Patrick and Beatrice. I saw no say be Lydia Champon very soon. Okay. And Auntie Eunice, Cynthia. Yes, that's the name I was looking for. Auntie Cynthia. And you were the Lord Chancellor, Mr. Forsen, the finance man.
Mama for your personal, Madam Diane.
And I think so. You were Mr. Ade. Mr. Ade make sure say we document to be a free BWF. Air efficacy mo say air court or be making sure say you can in album adequate. Then finally, my madam, Miss BWF, during the office of her. Okay, what time is it? Madam. Anyway, that is the family. It's so nice a family to be with. And then my tea is also you see behind every successful man there's an able woman.
That's right.
Now my tea. Thank you very much for your support. Laura, I think you did very round up and then I found more than 15 minutes, but summarize enough.
So 1 minute, my judge for today. 1 minute. So all that we are saying today to the community is that the EU applications are so open for you to be able to submit an application to under the Appendix EU settlement scheme. So there are two things I really want everybody to take note of. So number one, you must show that your relationship, whatever the relationship is, whether it's marriage, that is spouse, or you are a child, the relationship should have been formed or contracted before 31st of December 2020. That is one test. The other one is because there was a deadline date of 30th of June to apply to the EU settlement scheme. Therefore, if you are in the UK and you would want to put an application to the EU settlement scheme, it should have been done by then. But if for some reason you were unable to do that, just explain to the Home Office as to why you could not do it before the 30th. So if we put the two together, so now you can demonstrate that your relationship was formed before 31st. And you have a good reason why you did not put in the application to the EU settlement scheme before the deadline date 30th of June. You can do a new application. You can apply. That is the in-country application. On the other side, if you are an EU family member, EU national family member, and you are outside of the UK, and the relationship is, let's say, child or parent or whatever, as long as you remain a family member before 31st of December, You can apply. You don't have to meet the 30th deadline because that is not applicable to you. It's applicable to family members who are already in the UK. So family permits, bringing your parents, your children, your spouse, that's the marriage was contracted before 31st of December. You can still bring them to join you here in the UK. It's still open. The only problem we have is those who are already here that you must have formed a relationship before 31st of December, and the application should have been put in before June 30th. But if you were unable to do that and you have a good reason, you can still put in the application. That is what I want you to take with you from today's session, and I hope it will help. So please, those calling us, that's lawyer, can I ask you do EU marriage? Please, you don't do EU marriage. You marry somebody, but make sure your marriage was before 31st. And then tell me why you are now applying. We've given so many scenarios that could be used as a very good reason why you are applying late. And then we can help you with that. So this is what I will leave with you. I will thank my colleague, Lord Mark, very well. So well that one may appeals, you know, because you say appeals, you know, and delays now happening. Sometimes clients are frustrated. We can understand and we appreciate the fact that you have had that patience with us. Beyond our control. So the Mark can, you know, court on a set timetable. See, your logic appeal now is beyond our control. Everything is with the court. They are not court so catch and say, "Oh no, your logic appeal normally challenge na come home office." Lawyer you say asema mudi enkoye. Enti ye mama chance mo san hwe mu bi because you say ye case be free your system name. Can you change your decision or something? Omo de koma wo omo nhwe na da ho for weeks. The court will always say, "Wow, we are waiting for Home Office to come with the review." You see, and no na ya na manager. If you cramp na fee cra say you better come for notification be am enema. So me pamcho mo am appeal pending no. Munya and abotre kakra enye ya. Na de ba ko a em say obi a text me say don't forget lawyer Rich say this. Me pamcho mo EU residence cards. Whether 5 years or indefinite leave to remain, or you can permanent residence. Now, why you EU settlement scheme application? I can say you are granted. Why? So, say you have found two. More ya di amamo say be amamo indefinite letter no, and I amount 5 years leave to remain letter no. O card new year is still valid. Please, that is the stance. Okay. Home Office says that. So what shall let no more bro na what the world ready ase ho. Say who card a valid. So it did not say whether it was the old one or new. Who card a valid. Application ya decided ya confirm with status no. Who card no I valid because of this settlement scheme na why no. So you don't need a new card. But we because another na more almost yenye card and so. Didn't say you kasa money card and say yes, for your own peace of mind. In order for you not to be explaining yourself all the time to people, because they say if you know card be this purple lovely color, no, what then your pink. It's all the cultural bank in and estate agent or say I say where they are shop. And so I won't change the one now what rent it. You're free to do a new card. And not just say you are mandated to do the new card.
So once you have a valid card,
yes, it's most of more Ghana na. Meaning say. Madam Nikki Uti, me pacho, me can't no program no so one say is advice to everybody. Me so do you know mo kaso mo ama friend. Na kaso mo say lawyer Rich na kaso me pacho. Why your settlement scheme no confirmation no nti no. O card na expire na your permanent residence no. O de betimi etukwan e de akọ e de aba. Obi an hawadwe. Because it's valid. Because why EU settlement scheme? Why? So when and your card now expire, that is the danger. That is the difference. Into people sure, no. And I'm also sure a family permit. Yeah, the ma wa woman and ultimate fasa and no ember. So why you appeal and now we application, we extended family member now is pending. You can make a decision. Because the lawyer would then say, extended family members in regulation 2016. Regulation 8 into a EA family permit. But assistance no home office for issue a B Emma will be anti and him say so application air pending na omu issue probably they will issue EUSS family permit as opposed to the EEA family permit and won't mean to come because they will not issue something that you cannot travel with. So appeal to a court me pacho meaning say your court your barristers and we are instructing them to say to the judge that if we are successful, if our appeal is allowed, it should be EUSS granted to the appellant because EEA granted will be of no use.
Yes.
It
makes sense.
There's no way, say, Home Office for no policy, but Moka say EUSS will not disadvantage anyone. It's more be worried. Everything is going to be all right. EU law is still applicable. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, lawyer. God bless you, ma Misewa of Chesterfield. At the end of Sansuso and Mewo Samuel Kumi at Japan. I'm watching live from Ghana. Tell lawyer that God bless him so much for his good work he's doing. Sansuso and Vidal Mensa, thank you for supporting and putting your the details there. We are media. Okay, thank you. I take my two.
Alright, so what the Obi Sami Kumi at Japan? Do you know the secret behind this name? He is my designer. He is the brain behind RBN. So that's the one that was there. Sami Kumi.
Sami? Also be a mommy too. So my shot at the if I told lawyer, I share the same size. Why? Thank you. Daniel Opon say one love. Thank you very much. Sanso so and faster Emma was sharing a war PAMTV. So Pastor Augustine Abwaji, thank you very much for your support and the love for this program. Lawyer Unim. On the TV, what I say, senior patrol, you bet me the program. Of course, it's for the community, and we're all part of the community. Thank you very much, Pastor Augustine Abwaji. God bless you. Sanso so and Abawa Radio, UK. Abawa Radio, the audio version of this program, Eto ne Radio, no so Sunday and maybe 7 p.m. UK time. In T1 Shannon so. And then I said, I'm called Emma, my Lord. Mackenzie said oba ade appeal ho share no ebre and so and abusian for BWF solicitors lawyers and staff and obi bia o yedwuma BWF bia eta dwumadi echi ema ye debro asedanso enko emma my special brother and resource person lawyer Richard Bodu Nkrumah RBN or your partner BWF solicitors and also to my able support and assistant and co-presenter na Manye T. Ebedi na watumi afisiti no so na ono ana take effort because she's so able and competent to do that. Mumemfa asida man sanso so na asida enko Padmo Dudu for the aesthetics and the design and Sheila Ankra for the administrative bit and the promotion. Madam, Chamechi Mark Kaka. And I think so, as I can say, Nanko, principal and executive producer of this program, Dr. Bernard Owusu. I was here, a friend of Ureku Owusu from and Medewusi. Yami Abduma, same time next week, we'll be meeting on this same wonderful platform BWF Solicitors Facebook, BWF Solicitors YouTube, and all the other platforms. So, Pesawani and Dijume, Kwambia, so wait me, Afre BWF Solicitors, 0208-493-7340. Yame ensure na onhwe wo so kosi se yebesan enya kwan asan ahia ebio.
Yeah. Jesus, you're my everything, yeah. My everything is you, Lord. Yeah. Everybody say, say, how can I express
my gratitude
for all the many things
you've done for me?
Words are not enough, yeah.
Enough to say thank you.
So Lord, you are my everything.
You're
Mama Jam.